This is TWiT.
What Huawei calls the world's slimmest Android smartphone launched today at their beauty event in London. The Ascend P6 is pink, black, and white. You can get 3 different versions, and is 6.18 millimeters thick, featuring a 4.7-inch screen, 8-megapixel front camera, 2,000 milliamp hour battery, and can record and play back 1080p video. It has an Android 4.2.2 operating system with Huawei's Emotion UI, and will sell for 449 euros in China later this month, Western Europe in July, and other markets to follow soon.
Yesterday, we heard Apple's version of its participation in the NSA spying program PRISM. Today, it is Yahoo's turn. The company says over the past 6 months, it's received between 12,000 and 13,000 data requests, which include both ordinary law enforcement requests and those secret FISA orders. CEO Marissa Mayer writes that, like all companies, Yahoo cannot lawfully break out FISA request numbers at this time. However, we strongly urge the federal government to reconsider its stance on the issue.
53, the company behind that very popular iPad app Paper, just landed $15 million from investors led by Andreessen Horowitz. CEO George Pachneg told GigaOM that he foresees expanding into an entire suite of software, services, and hardware. 53's 22-person team is made up of folks with experience on the Xbox and the tech unicorn known as the Microsoft Courier. Pachneg didn't give specifics as to what kind of hardware to expect from 53.
Adobe just released the latest version of its Creative Cloud programs, including Photoshop and Premiere Pro, among others. The subscription service is the only way to get the latest versions, and Adobe is trying to entice new subscribers by offering 60% off for 12 months to CS6 owners and 40% off for CS3 to CS5.5 owners. Adobe may be considering an overall price drop as well if the survey they sent out to current subscribers is any indication.
Oculus VR is staying indie, at least for now. The virtual reality headset company raised $16 million in Series A venture capital, got a couple new board members in the process. The money will be used to expand the firm, hire more employees, and allow the team to focus on its goals, says CEO Brendan Iribe. He says, quote, "For a few $100s, students will be able to do virtual surgery in an almost realistic environment."
AMD announced an upcoming processor based on the ARM architecture. It's called Seattle, and it's an 8-core, 64-bit processor meant for servers. The first versions of Seattle will be produced in the first quarter of next year, with commercial quantities scheduled for the second quarter of 2014.
Seattle? Okay, that's weird. AT&T and Goal Zero will put 25 free solar-powered street charging stations in a handful of locations around New York City. Fort Greene Park gets the first one on June 18th, that's today, followed by Brooklyn Bridge Park, Coney Island, and points beyond. Each station will stay where it is for 3 or 4 weeks before moving on to a new location, so they'll be all over the place eventually. The poles have 6 connectors, 1 30-pin iPhone connector, 1 Lightning iPhone connector, 1 micro USB connector, and 3 female USB connectors for those of you who have your own cables.
Texas Governor Rick Perry has signed HB 2268, which is a bill that shields Texas residents from snooping by state and local law enforcement without a warrant. That now includes email as well. This is the first state to update the Electronic Communications Privacy Act, or ECPA, written in 1986, that says federal law enforcement agencies are only required to get a warrant to access recent emails before they're opened by the recipient. Now, at least in Texas, open and unopened email is treated the same.
I don't know. Law from 1986 doesn't seem like it would need updating.
Especially as it relates to email.
Yeah. Google announced the Chromebook will begin showing up in more retail locations than just Amazon and Best Buy soon. The number of outlets will jump from 2,000 stores to 6,600, with new chains carrying the laptops in the United States, UK, Netherlands, Australia, France, and Sweden. Walmart alone will add 2,800 stores carrying the 16-gigabyte Acer Chromebook for $199.
NVIDIA announced that CUDA 5.5 is out of private beta and is now available as a public release candidate. This version of CUDA brings ARM support for the first time, which means it will natively support GPU-accelerated computing on ARM-based systems. This could also help make NVIDIA a bigger player in the supercomputer arena, as now an ARM-based computer could be powered by NVIDIA processors, unlike the common pairing of x86 processors and an NVIDIA Tesla GPU.